Hello, dear students. Welcome back. I am Dr. Govind Saraswat, Assistant Professor in English from Government College, Degana. Dear students, today we will analyze a monologue entitled Ulysses, written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. He was born in 1809 and is regarded as one of the best of the Victorian poets. Tennyson was a born poet. It is evident from the fact that he wrote a 6,000 long poem, epic poem, at the age of 12. Then in 1827, he, along with his brother, published poems by two brothers when they were at Trinity College in Cambridge. The publication of this work attracted the attention of a literary club there named Apostles, led by Arthur Hallam. Then Tennyson and Arthur Hallam they became the best of the friends, but this friendship could not last for a long time because of the sudden death of Hallam in 1833. This cast a deep impact upon the heart of the poet, and he wrote a tribute in, in the form of In Memoriam, an elegy in the memory of Arthur Hallam. The publication of this work made our poet Tennyson very popular in England, and he was made poet laureate by the Queen Victoria. In the same year, he married Emily Shalwood, and as his reputation and economic status they both grew, he purchased a house in the country to write in relative seclusion. In 1884, he accepted a peerage and becoming Alfred Lord Tennyson. He died on October 6, 1892, and was buried in Westminster Abbey. Some of his major works are poems Chief Lyrical, The Lotus Eaters, The Lady of Shalott, Break, 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 Ulysses, The Princess, Tears, Idle Tears, In Memoriam, Maud, Idols of the King, and Crossing the Bar. These are some of his best known works. The present poem Ulysses was written in 1833 and it was published in 1842. Before we discuss the poem, let us talk about who is this Ulysses. He is a Greek mythical hero, a key figure in the Trojan War. That war was mainly fought between the Prince of Troy, Paris, and the King of Sparta, Menelaus. What was the reason? The reason was Helen, the wife of Menelaus. She was very beautiful and she eloped with Paris, and as a result, Menelaus led an expedition to Troy with a fleet of more than 1,000 ships from throughout the Hellenic world. The war is one of the most important events in Greek mythology and has been narrated through many works of Greek literature, most notably Homer's epic Iliad. This war lasted for 10 years. The city of Troy was completely destroyed. After the Trojan defeat, the Greek heroes slowly made their way home. Odysseus took 10 years to make the arduous and often interrupted journey home to Ithaca. This Odysseus is our hero Ulysses in this poem. They are same and one person. The present poem is narrated by our hero who, after returning to Ithaca, is making a comparison between his life in his own kingdom and his life of adventure into the sea. He is not satisfied with his present life and strongly yearns to go back. He will love to face dangers in his pursuit of new knowledge and new worlds. Let's begin with the poem. It begins as it little profits that an idle king by this still hearth among these barren crags, meshed with an aged wife, I meet and all unequal laws unto a savage race that hoard and sleep and feed and know not me. From the very beginning, our hero Ulysses seems to be unsatisfied with his luxurious or peaceful life in his own kingdom, Ithaca. He says that what is the use of sitting here as passive and enjoying the warmth of this hearth and living here with my wife in a very peaceful manner. And what do I do? I issue or I exercise some laws upon those people whose aim in life is just to collect materialistic things and to sleep and to feed, but they do not know me. So this is what ails our hero Ulysses. He uh, he is very impassioned, and when he makes a comparison between his life here in Ithaca and his life when he was face to face with dangers, then he finds that this is not what we mean by life. It doesn't appeal him to sit here because he does not see any kind of adventure. He doesn't uh, experience any life here in Ithaca, because whatever he does, that is nothing more than to live here peacefully, living with his wife and uh, ruling those people who do not know him. Then, because of this, he feels dissatisfied. Then he says, I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I have enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone on the shore, and when through scudding drifts the rainy Hyades vexed the dim sea, I am become a name. He affirms that I cannot rest from travel. I have been a traveler throughout my life, because when he went to Troy and then when he returned from Troy, it took almost, and they even spent 10 years in the Trojan War. So that was almost beyond 20 years that he was he had been leading a life of that is full of adventure. That is why he says that I cannot rest from travel. Now, he wants to drink life to the maximum level, and that is possible only when he will lead that kind of life which can appeal him. The life here in Ithaca is not that much appealing, because he says that I have enjoyed greatly and I have suffered greatly. So at both the things, when he was enjoying life and when he was facing the pain and many dangers, and because of that he has suffered. But the main thing is that at in both the things, he enjoyed and suffered to the maximum level, because he used the word greatly. And he says that sometimes I was alone and sometimes I was with my followers, and sometimes I I was on the earth, and sometimes I was in the sea when the rainy Hades that reflected that the wind and storm and rain, they are about to approach, and it will create a thunderous atmosphere here on the sea, and they will have to face and over struggle this stormy weather. But he says that I never bothered about such adventures or such dangers in my life. Whether I was living on the shore or whether I was in the sea, on the sea, it doesn't matter for me. Whether the atmosphere was or whether the weather was fair or it was unfair, I never ever bothered. It doesn't affect me much because I'm ready to face every kind of danger in my life. And then he says that I am become a name. I am become a name. It means that whatever things I have faced in my life that has become part of my personality. I am made of everything that I have faced in my life. Then he says, for always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments, myself not least, but honored of them all. He says that throughout my life, I have been roaming, I have been wandering with a hungry heart. Hungry heart means his heart is desirous to get more and more knowledge. He says that, oh, okay, I have seen and known many things in my life. I have seen uh, people of various cities. I have observed their manners. I have faced various climates and I attended many councils and have been part of many governments. Okay, and that and there he was honored also. That is why he says that I am a man of whatever I have seen and experienced in my life. And he says that I am drunk and a drunk delight of battle with my peers. When you when you fight very hard, you know the meaning of what victory is. And he enjoyed that victory with full delight with his followers. And he says that I did it on the ringing plains of windy Troy. That the battle or the war of Troy, it lasted for 10 years. We can imagine how hard they might have fought there in order to win. That is why he says that I am a part of all that I have met. I have acquired a lot of experience. I have seen many things in my life, both favorable and unfavorable. I have enjoyed greatly and I have suffered greatly. And he can affirm that whatever I have seen in my life, I have imbibed everything. And that is why I am a part of all that I have met. Even then, he says that yet all experience is an arc, where through gleams that untraveled world whose margins fades forever and forever when I move. He says that okay, I have seen many things in my life. I have taken too much experience. But even then, he says that knowledge is like an arc whose boundaries keep shifting more and more. The more we move towards them, the more they drift. So, knowledge is, you can say, uh, like a vast ocean, and you, when you feel that you have known a great deal of things in your life, it means that it is you feel satisfied with whatever you have acquired, whatever knowledge you have acquired. But the thing is, there is still much to be known, and that is the thing with Ulysses. He says that, oh yes, I have acquired a lot of knowledge about people, about various cities, about climates, their manners, their councils. But even then, he feels that there is still a uh, a lot of still there are a lot of things that are to be known. I do not know even I do not know what I do not know. That is why I have to go and to know about them. So he says that the horizon of knowledge is ever shifting, but he will not stop. He will keep moving, trying to know what he doesn't know in his life. And he says that I am determined that uh, to know everything that is there in this world. That is why he says that forever and forever the margins they fed forever and forever when I move. Then in this stanza he says, how dull it is to pose and make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use. And as though to breathe were life. He says that how dull it is to pause. Why should I stay here? It is of no use staying. Why should I make an end to my life even before it end, before its real end? He says that the life is given to us and we should make the maximum use of it. What is the use of being dull, being an idle person, sitting here doing nothing and to waste it, not to sign in use? Why should we waste it? Mere breathing is not life. So he says that life piled on life were all too little, and of one to me is little remains. Life, you are given a life by the God Almighty, and this little life is not even sufficient enough to know everything that exists in this world. And he says that the life and my life uh, is is remaining too little. He says that I have crossed so many years of my life. My death is approaching near. So why should I stay here? Why should I make a pause? Why am I wasting this life? I want to snatch every hour from that eternal silence. That eternal silence means death. He wants to say that something more is to be done before that eternal silence may come. A bringer of new things, a while it were for some 3 sons to store and hoard myself. He says that it is useless, it is futile for me to stay here for 3 years and to do something for these people who even don't know me. And whatever activities they are indulged in, they are nothing more than just to feed themselves, to sleep, and though something that is not that much important in life. And this gray spirit means here because he feels that he is on the verge of becoming old. He says that my spirit it is yearning and desire to follow knowledge like a sinking star. Although the star is sinking, but before it has gone down, I want to know it completely. And it can be a metaphor for Ulysses himself that he is like a sinking star and he is to his death. He anticipates that he has not left with much life, and whatever life he has left with, he wants to enjoy that. He wants to use that in order to know more and more about this life. He wants to go beyond the thought of what we humans can think. So this is all about this first part of Ulysses because this poem is very lengthy. I have divided this poem into two parts. The remaining part of the poem we will discuss in the next lecture. I think that this poem is this poem will be very inspiring for you because when Ulysses at this age of his life can feel that we should not waste our life, we should do something which can give us a kind of satisfaction, a and we should have a zeal and enthusiasm in our life to do something it will help you to feel motivated. But my suggestion is to motivate yourself, because if you are not self motivated, no external thing can motivate you. So think, ponder, and do whatever makes your life fruitful and meaningful. Thank you.